Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another rainy day on the plains of Colorado. If you are new here, I am Doyle, this is my garage, and I hope to earn your subscription today. So, I am standing inside because I don't want to deal with all that. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining today. Today is Sunday. It's supposed to rain for the next 3 days, like non-stop. Period. That's all it's going to do. So, I have the Elko inside because I knew it was going to rain, and today's intention is to get the dash out of it. I gotta put a paintless wiring harness in it, and that dash is absolutely cooked. Pretty much everything's going in the trash can except for the AC and the heater stuff on this side. I'm going to try and leave all of that intact because most of it is intact. I'm going to only have to hook up a constant to it and a key on switch to it from the painless wiring harness and be done with it. I've never messed with AC stuff before. I've never made the heaters work. I build race cars because that's what I like. So this is the first one to get the AC and stuff put back into it. The 79 Impala that I just finished has all of the equipment in the dash and on the firewall, but it doesn't have the AC compressor, nor does it have the hoses or anything. So this is my test mule. Once I get all this done, I can bring the Impala back out here, or I can take a bunch of pictures and videos, like personal stuff for me, and then I can redo his. Because if this one's working properly, then I can use this as the wiring diagram for his instead of trying to hunt one down. Having it in real life is much easier. Just trust me on that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I've got the engine bay wiring harness completely out. I've got the front brakes done. Got the rear brakes set aside for when I get to drive it again to see if they're squeaky or not and need to be done. Everything still needs to be bled. This is really the only thing that needs to come back out. So I'm going to set you guys up and we're going to get to work on that because I literally have nothing else to do and there's nothing to do outside. That's why we're stuck on the Suburban and stuck on the Monty, even though I got some of the parts to start it. I think I can start it. I don't know. I'm not really focused on that one today. So let's get focused on this one and get to work, y'all. Alright, y'all. Dash is out. Have yourselves a look. This is an absolute nightmare. And on top of that, it doesn't need the computer, and it used to have auto start and a whole bunch of other stuff that it doesn't need. So the question is, would you rather have this, or would you rather have this? That's literally everything to run the entire car. For the air conditioning and stuff, it's going to be the AC and heater unit, obviously, and then just a couple of wires running to it, and that's literally absolutely it. So, let's go back in the garage and talk about this a little bit. So that is why this one is getting a painless wiring harness, and this one that you guys haven't fully figured out yet is also getting a painless wiring harness. The Vic is getting a painless wiring harness. I just finished one on the Impala. I'm trying to talk Evan into one on the Suburban. Just easier that way. You get to start from scratch. On top of all the stuff that is not supposed to have inside the El Camino, I did circuit testing, and out of the 21 circuits I believe that are on that board, 9 of them had a constant draw. So it's done, and it needed to be done, and whoever went from TBI to carburetor really half-assed it, and not really about that life. But we're going to have a dash to put back into both of these. And man, have I fucking struggled with it. It seems that every time I want somebody to take my money, they're not willing to. And I don't really understand that, because like, the client is ready to pay out literally hundreds of dollars on multiple different parts, and we're having problems getting the parts. And it's not that they're not in stock, it's that we can't get a hold of anybody. There's a fiberglass company I can't remember the name of. They make a fiberglass dash for the Monty, and they won't email me back, they won't answer the phone. And I found another company, and I messaged them on Facebook, and I was like, do you guys make G-body dashes? And they're like, yeah, we do. And I was like, well, can I get price and availability on 2 of them? Because I literally need 2, like, right now. No reply, not even on Facebook. So, no matter what I do, this guy has to have a fiberglass dash. Because there's no heater, there's no AC. I'm gonna cut a fucking slot for a stereo, and there's not going to be much to that car. It's a street legal race car toy. So that's why that one has to go that way. This one, on the other hand, is not going to be that way. It is going to be as close to a stock off the showroom floor 1985 El Camino as you can get, wiring wise. So it's going to have stereo and AC and heater and everything else. So it needs a dash that is actually factory. And the options I've seen for that, I haven't seen a full replacement dash yet, but I've seen a cap. And it would literally just lay over the top of it, to my understanding. That may be the route I go. Let me turn you around and show you what I'm looking at on the floor here. So the gray one is out of the El Camino, and the red one is out of the Monte Carlo. And when I say they're exactly the same, I mean legitimately they are exactly the same. The only real difference is the body. So this one is trash. You have cracks in the corner and major cracks up top and cracks coming through there and cracking all the way through there, and the corners missing right there. It's just bad. So this one goes in the trash can, no matter what. That's junk. This one, on the other hand, the corners are good. It's got this one crack here, and it's got a crack here, a crack here, and one here. But this corner is good, and it's kind of sort of good through the top. So I'm wondering, even though I've never done it, if I cap this one and put this one in there. The caps are black, so this would match. It wouldn't be red anymore. that's my thoughts on that. So, gotta figure out dashes. This has been a pain in my ass. I just want to finish that car. It's so pretty and it sounds so good and it just wants to run. And just figure out all that shit. So in here, this is the climate control. Follow me? Okay, and it's got wires that come out of it, right? So if you see here, this comes out, goes up through over here and down and into the engine bay. So on the Impala, I cut these. I probably shouldn't have, but that's the point of learning. So I would assume that somewhere this is getting power. Like there's a light. And maybe this is it. Because this is the same color as the painless wiring harness. So maybe this is the power that I need to tap into. And then the rest of this will stay with factory wiring. Like this whole loom will still be in the truck. And then you go up over here, and this entire loom, none of this has been unplugged, none of it has been undone. So I'm hoping that it should be, you know, that simple. I put power in here, and then when you turn the fan on, that's its own circuit and it'll turn the fan on. And then I would assume that if you go cold and then go to AC, normal or max, it's going to take that positive signal that you sent to here, or that positive 12 volts from the positive feed, and take it and go outside somehow and go to the AC compressor. If it works and I don't understand it, that's cool. I'm good with that. Just as long as it works, pretty much. So I think this will be the only wire that I unplug. Like that. See, now it separates this entire... Yeah, like that. Okay? And then you just got that one power wire in, right? And then however it's going to go out there, which will be good. And then this vacuum, it obviously needs some kind of vacuum. This one, I can find an engine vacuum source. These transmissions don't do vacuum, but my C6 does. And I used a port like this one right here, and I put a vacuum fitting in it. And I teed it, and I run my vacuum advance off of it. And I run my transmission off of it. So I'm going to engine vacuum this source, and then power to that constant, I believe, or key on power to that. It doesn't need constant. And then I'm hoping the AC works, but that's to be determined. The rest of the wiring in here, every single bit of it goes in the trash can, and the rest of it will look like the Monty. So other than this, everything you see is trash, and that's what I'm going to work on next. And at the end of the project, you get spaghetti. Now, there's only one reason that that is not in the trash can, and that's because you never know what connectors that you're going to need. And it's mostly light bulbs and shit like that for turn signals, headlights, taillights, blah 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 blah. So that's what I got going on. I'm gonna get this cleaned up a little bit more for the client. If this was a race car, I'd tell you that the only wires that you want out of it are these ones. And these run to the back of the car, truck, SUV, whatever it is, as long as it's a Chevy so far. And these run your taillights, turn signals, running lights, reverse light, and this guy is your fuel level. So these are the only ones that you usually keep, or I usually keep. And then GM tilt key in column's pretty easy. In there is your ignition switch. Over here is your flasher. This guy down here is your running lights and turn signals and gauges and shit. Same with that one. I'm not sure where this red wire goes, but I'll figure it out. And I'm not sure what that one does either, but I'll figure it out too. There's still more wiring in here that needs to come out. The computer needs to come out. And some other shit needs to come out. I gotta take the wiper motor out to get what's left of this fuse block head out of there, because Jenga. But the rest of it is cleaned up, and now we're literally just waiting on parts, and depending on how long parts take, you guys might get to see the other new project too. So that's it for me for today. The client is out of money. He's got to bring me my next installment of payment next week after Memorial Day. And speaking of which, if you have served for our country, or you have family that have served for our country, we appreciate you guys to the core. So happy Memorial Day to you. I'm gonna go inside and try and enjoy the heater, I guess, because there's not a whole lot else to enjoy today. Gotta go to the store and figure out dinner and shite, but that'll be okay too. So I will catch you guys soon on whatever the next project is. Have a good day, and God bless. Get out there and wrench on something, or do something, or make some kind of stupid decision. I don't know. Whatever it is. Bye!